Hello, my name is Amanda Waldhart, and you are here with Amanda's InspirationStation.com. Today, I want to show you a really cool card, a masculine cool card that I made with my dad in mind because my dad is a hunter. And so I made this card for my dad as a birthday card, and I love the Camouflage Background Stamp Set. So today I'm going to show you how to make this card, but more importantly, how to get this background stamp set to look just exactly like camouflage. Okay, I'm going to turn you down and we'll go ahead and we'll get started. All right, so to make this card, excuse me, I'm sorry, you are going to need the camouflage background stamp, which I have the cling on one, so I have it on a clear block, but I believe you still can purchase them on wood blocks too. That does not matter. So you will need that. You are going to need Old Olive, Mossy Meadow, and Soft Suede ink pads, along with some daubers to go with it. If you do not have daubers, you can always use a sponge as well. Although I am going to daub, like stipple onto the background stamp set, but you can still do it with a sponge. You're going to need the Mossy Meadow blend in the light, and then you are going to need the Rustic Retreat stamp set because we're going to use the deer out of there. So I have the deer right here. So we're going to go ahead and get that. And then the pieces that you're going to need is a Mossy Meadow card base, which measures at 5.5 by 8.5, and you're going to score it at 4.25. You're going to need 2 Whisper White pieces that measure at 4 by 5.25. You are then going to, no, I'm sorry. Nope, didn't mean that. You do not need 2 pieces that measure at 4 by 5.25. You are only going to need 1 piece that measures at that because you're going to need a soft suede that also measures at that. So the soft suede and the Whisper White are going to measure at 4 by 5.25. Okay. Sorry about that. Then you're going to need a Whisper White piece that's going to measure at 3 3/4 by 5 because you need that to be a little bit smaller because it's going to go on top of your soft suede piece. Okay. Then you need a piece of Old Olive, and this measures at 4.25 by 1. And then I used the layering circle dies, and I used the scallop for the soft suede, and then a Whisper White, a smaller one. And the ones that I used this one. So let me see which one this one is. 1, 2, 3. The third largest one of the scallop. And then the circle one that fits right perfectly inside. Okay? All right. So let's get started. I'm going to just trim this little piece of paper just a tiny bit because I realized that I cut it wrong when I was talking. So you do need to trim it back just a little bit. All right, so there we go. So let's go ahead, and before we make this card, we're going to do the background stamp first. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to open all of my ink pads. So we're going to get that started. All right. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get out our background stamp here, and we're going to start with Old Olive. It doesn't matter what color you start with because what you're going to do is you're literally going to daub all the way around, okay? And you're going to do this in different areas. So we're going to do this in different areas, and this is probably what's going to take the longest time, because you're going to daub in different areas here, okay? All right, so this one is the Old Olive. We'll do that like over in here. All right, so now let's go. I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow I'm going to pull this aside. So now basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of overlap a little bit over the old olive in areas, but I'm going to now do it in different areas. Again, though, if you are by the old olive where you were just at, you do want to kind of go over top a little bit, because that's going to be you kind of blending. And we're just going to kind of, so this does take a little bit of time here, but that's okay. All right, now we're going to do the soft suede. And we're going to get that in there. You want to make sure that you get everything, but if you do miss something a little bit, that's okay. For starters, we're going to do a Huff Technique, which if you know what that is, it's always fun to do that on a large background stamp. But if you don't know what it is, you're in for a special treat. Okay. Hopefully that's good enough. Now I have done multiple ones of these, and I will be very honest, they all turn out differently, okay? I am going to need a piece of scrap paper. So I'm going to pull out a piece of my 6x6. This is grid paper from our Stamparatus. You can use computer paper, you can use whatever you want, but I am going to pull that out because you're going to need something. And the Huff technique is we are going to pull this up close to our mouth, and basically we are going to huff on it with our mouth without getting ink on our face, because you want to put the moisture into the stamp again for us to stamp, okay? So I know this is going to sound weird, so sorry, but we got to do it. In fact, let's put it on my face so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, that was weird to do on live TV, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to turn you back down. All right, so now we're going to place our piece of Whisper White cardstock on top. We're going to place our grid paper over top, and now we're going to rub. And you want to make sure that you're rubbing all over. Now, when I flip this over, it is not going to look like the card does, okay? It is not going to look like that yet. We are only halfway done with this camouflage. We still have a little bit more things to do. So we'll go ahead and we'll pop that up. All right, so see how now it has the white spots in it? This is where we're going to come along back with our daubers. And now we are going to, and I'm going to keep this actually because I want to make sure that I'm not, there we go. This is where now we're going to lightly rub in, and we're going to rub in different areas, just like we did when we were daubing. But we're just going to go in a circular motion, and you don't want to press too hard, because if you press too hard, you're going to get that circle. See that circle I just did? You don't want to do that. You just want to lightly go in a circular motion so that it all blends. Okay? So we're just going to go lightly in a circular motion. And I generally try to get the whole thing green first, and then I go over it with the soft suede. That's how I found that it kind of turns out more of a camouflage look. So now I'm going to get this soft suede here, and we're just going to lightly go over. Again, we can still dip it in. We just want to do our circles lightly. And that's because we don't want that circle mark on it. All right. We'll just kind of go over top. I do like the way the soft suede looks over the green. It definitely does give it more of that camouflage look. All right, there we go. All right, so we have that done. I'm going to bring this up. See how that turned out? I love it. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and start by putting our card together. So let's go ahead and put our card together. We're going to fold our card base, and I'm going to get out my bone folder, which I already have here, and I'm just going to kind of press in the crease. And I want to go ahead and I want to put in my center. So that is my Whisper White. That's so that when I'm writing, you can actually see what I write. All right. And I'm not using dimensionals to pop this up, but you are more than welcome to. I'm now going to place my first layer, which is my soft suede. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place my camouflage piece. All right. We're going to go ahead and place that camouflage piece. All right. Now, we do want to stamp the happy birthday, which I just realized that I did not get out. So we're going to have to get that out. Let's see here. Here it is. Happy birthday. And we're going to stamp that in. I want this to be a little bit darker than the soft suede. So I'm actually going to get out my early espresso and we're going to stamp that in early espresso. And I do want it to be over to the right as far as I possibly can. And that's because on the left is where we're going to overlap the circle. Okay. So we'll get that out. Now we're going to set that aside because now we need to stamp our deer. We are going to stamp our deer in the soft suede. Okay. And we're also going to use today, which I forgot to tell you that we're going to need. We're going to need a blender pen. Okay. So we're going to stamp the deer just like that. We're going to take our blender pen and make sure there's nothing on my tip here. And we're going to color in just the deer. Okay, this is going to make him look watercolored for one, but it also colors him in. All right, and I'll bring that up so you can see that closer. See how that, I don't know if you can see that or not. It looks kind of blurry on my screen, so hopefully it's not, but it colors in the deer. And then for the grass, I want to actually add some mossy meadow to the grass. So I'm just going to color in the grass part with the light mossy meadow blend. Just to kind of give it that green look. All right. Now we are going to use some dimensionals to pop this up. But before we pop this up, I want to do another technique called flicking. I think that's a funny name. You're going to use your Sponge Dauber here. And I'm going to use the Old Olive, and you're going to dip it. And what you're going to do is you're going to flick all around the edge here. You're just going to flick, 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 flick. And we're just going to do it all the way around the edge. This just gives it an additional look. So we're going to now flip it over and we're going to put our dimensionals on the back. Okay, just like that. We're going to attach it to our scalloped soft suede. Okay, now we're going to place this piece flat on our card. So we do need to put some snail adhesive on there. So we're going to place that flat, and I'm going to center this, and this is going to come over both because I want it to give it a little bit. And then I am going to pop this up still as well. I noticed with this card, I actually cut it smaller, so it didn't go over, but that's okay. All right. Now we're going to pop this up. So that's on the card like that. There you go. There is your masculine card, but it doesn't have to be masculine. There are a lot of women that I know who actually hunt. And even I myself have a pair of camouflage shoes, a hat, and actually I have two hats, and I have a shirt. So, you know what? It's for women too. I shouldn't say it's just masculine. It's a woman card along with a masculine card. I don't know how I'm saying that, but that's okay, you know? So here is our camouflage cards. I hope you guys enjoyed how to do this. There are a couple new techniques in there for some of you. For some of you, maybe these are old techniques. Maybe they're techniques that you're like, wow, I haven't done one of those in a really long time. I know for me, huffing is something I haven't done in a while, so it was all good. All right. You guys have a great day. And for more information on any of my other cards, please visit amandasinspirationstation.com. If you're watching this video on YouTube, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I do post videos at least once a week on Wednesdays, but sometimes like today, I post extra videos. So, all right, have a great day. Bye.